Who would have thought that a mighty cultivator who had reached the Yang reality realm would tremble violently from just a single glance by Wang Lin, someone only at the asking peak stage, and even willingly offer his Tao soul, begging to follow him as a loyal subordinate. Continuing from before, as the black-haired man gradually stepped deeper into the lightning overflow region within the debris layer, an indescribable sense of fear suddenly rose in his heartbeat trembling uncontrollably. His expression darkened. With cultivation at the Yang reality realm, unless facing true, great, divine ability cultivators who had stepped into the second step, there were very few who could make him feel this way. After a brief hesitation, he gritted his teeth and stepped past the final stretch of debris. With just a single glance, he saw Wang Lin standing above the lightning pool. In his eyes, Wang Lin was incomparably strange. His entire body floated in midair, lightning roaming across him, each strand roaring violently as it passed through his body and shot outward in all directions. At the very moment the black-haired man appeared, Wang Lin slowly opened his eyes. Those eyes could not be described with words. Within them seemed to contain heaven and earth, containing all the laws of this world. With just one glance, it felt as though he could see through heaven and earth, see through life and death. That feeling resembled the gigantic arm that once appeared beyond the heavenly gate, causing one's soul to tremble, impossible to resist. Wang Lin casually glanced at the black-haired man. In an instant, the man's body stiffened as if struck by lightning. He could not comprehend what kind of gaze this was. Yet within it existed a divine power far beyond his imagination. With his cultivation, this was the first time in his life he had felt such terrifying power. Wang Lin's gaze remained calm as it fell upon him. Within those eyes still lingered traces of Tao comprehension, as if everything he saw now were merely ants. The fear in the black-haired man's eyes reached its peak. Never had the boundary between life and death felt so close. Just one glance from the other party completely erased any thought of resistance within him. A deep silence from the soul spread throughout his entire body. All of this happened in an instant. In Wang Lin's eyes, the trace of Tao intent gradually faded. He took a deep breath, then closed his eyes once more. The black-haired man's body went limp, finally awakening from that terrifying state. He stared at Wang Lin, and in his eyes, Wang Lin's figure became incomparably tall. Especially the disdain for all existence hidden within that gaze caused the man to develop a near fanatical reverence. He took a deep breath and respectfully stepped aside. Not long after, Wang Lin opened his eyes again. This time, his gaze had returned to normal. What had just happened did not only shock the black-haired man, even Wang Lin himself was deeply shaken. That feeling just now seemed like something only those who had stepped into the third step could touch. Wang Lin's expression turned serious. That state could only be comprehended, not sought. He vaguely felt that he had grasped something extremely important. At this moment, the black-haired man suddenly knelt down, his voice trembling as he spoke. Junior Shen Gonghu, second rank, envoy of the Thunder Immortal Hall, greets Senior. If outsiders witnessed this scene, they would be utterly shocked. One must know that Shen Gonghu was arrogant and ruthless. Even among the envoys of the Thunder Immortal Hall, he was notoriously difficult to deal with. More importantly, his talent was astonishing. Even the Hallmaster of the Thunder Immortal Hall once stated that within the entire Luotian star domain, Shen Gonghu's talent could rank within the top 30. Wang Lin's gaze remained calm as he silently looked at him. After briefly touching upon the Tao of the third step, although his cultivation had not changed, his state of mind had undergone a heaven-shaking transformation. His soul itself had changed in essence. Even if Tian Yunzi stood before him now, he would not feel the slightest pressure. Wang Lin withdrew his gaze and spoke indifferently. "What do you want?" Before Shen Gonghu could finish speaking, Wang Lin waved his right hand and said coldly, "If there is nothing, leave." "Senior, this junior is Shen Gonghu from the southern Luotian region, a second-rank envoy of the Thunder Immortal Hall from the Shen Gong clan." His voice was respectful, even pleading. To him, Wang Lin's attitude was completely normal. A true expert should be like this. He knew he had disturbed the senior's cultivation. The fact that he was not killed was already an immense mercy. Moreover, he was not unaware of Wang Lin's current cultivation level. But that terrifying gaze made him ignore all of it. In his heart, that was what a true expert should be. Even if hiding one's cultivation, no flaw should be visible. Wang Lin looked at him indifferently. Shen Gonghu immediately spoke again. "This junior knows his cultivation is low and unworthy, but my sincerity is absolute. I also command many subordinate cultivation clans. If senior has any needs, I will fulfill them with all my strength. I know these are insignificant in senior's eyes. I only ask that senior grants me a chance." Wang Lin pondered briefly and shook his head. The divine ability from earlier could not be used again. If exposed, it would bring unnecessary trouble. Seeing this, Shen Gonghu quickly said, "Everything I say comes from sincerity. No matter what happens in the future, I will never regret it. I will never disturb senior. As long as when I attempt a breakthrough, senior offers a few words of guidance, it will be enough. If senior agrees, I am willing to offer my Tao soul and serve under you for 1,000 years." As he spoke, he formed hand seals and placed them upon his head. Immediately, a black sphere of light emerged from his crown, floating in the air. Within it was his Tao intent and comprehension. In the Luotian star domain, subordinates could choose what to offer. The Tao soul was the highest form, and also the most binding. Once given, although it could not decide life or death instantly, it could directly affect one's mind and will. Offering it was the greatest sign of sincerity. Wang Lin's gaze sharpened. After a long silence, he said calmly, "Do you not regret it?" "This junior will never regret it." Wang Lin did not speak further. He waved his hand, taking the Tao soul into his grasp and swallowing it, merging it into his own primordial spirit. Then he asked calmly, "Why are you here?" "The Thunder Immortal realm will soon open. I came to cultivate origin power here." "How long?" "About 10 years. At that time, one can enter through lightning." Wang Lin pondered. He showed great interest in the Thunder Immortal realm. In the past, within the Rain Immortal realm, he could not absorb immortal power. But now, he had the strength to absorb it. Entering this realm could push his cultivation to great perfection of asking peak. After asking further, he learned that the Thunder Immortal realm was similar to the Rain Immortal realm, but less damaged. Thus, the entry limit was late-stage asking peak great perfection. Through methods of the Thunder Immortal Hall, some second-step cultivators could enter, but they must not exceed early Nirvana cleanser power. After understanding everything, Wang Lin glanced at Shen Gonghu and said calmly, "You may stay here to cultivate, but do not disturb me." Yes. Shingongu nodded repeatedly, filled with gratitude. This had been his purpose all along. Now, being allowed to stay, his heart overflowed with thanks.